gun violence and murder was a cool thing in the late 80s, early 90s. Like when people say DC and murder capital,
yeah, it was
they
pride.
fail to tell the story of how that culture was bred. It was bred in our boxing gyms, our football joints, our juvenile detention centers, and through the music that we listen to. You know, I don't want to get too psychological on it, but I grew up in an era where some of us were still fighting. I grew through the era fighting to gunplay. Like my father and my uncle, all they knew was the fighting era. Although somebody had a 38 here and there, because you would still get shot and killed.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot more rare.
89 to like 94. If you, like, I'm gonna use one term that some of the young guys say, and other people be using the term now. They be like, you ain't nobody if you don't got a body. And I used to hear that and be like, oh, whatever. But in the streets, if you didn't have that threat of violence, because some people had the threat of violence without the murder game. But if you didn't have a threat of repercussion, in DC, ain't nobody give a about you. Wasn't nobody gonna pay you. I mean, motherfucker might feel your girl on the ass.
Right.
Like DC, it was a mentality. Like, and if you didn't buy into it, you know, if you didn't buy into it, you was kind of like, you know, anything, anybody, nobody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
nobody,
I mean, that's
so anybody can do anything to you because you have no body.
Right. And, well, you incorporated that into that, so you can. But no matter how much I try to, you know, intellectualize it, that's what it was. Like, let me say this. I probably took the first time I ever put somebody in the dirt. I was like 15 years old. Dudes outside my neighborhood that knew about it, they automatically, I ain't talking about the other guys that was already blase, right? I'm talking about people that be like, oh my God, you know, Lil Eyone did that. The way in which they interacted with me after that, you know, I'm talking about in the era of stealing bikes, the era of robbing for coats, like a lot of ignorant shit people do that they don't really talk about, but I done grew through that era, like the stealing bikes, carjacking, robbing for clothes and jewelry. Yeah. I done tried all of that. But when those dudes find out that you really gonna put something in the dirt, a lot of people, it separates them. The people that's not really trying to go that hard, they gonna leave you alone. The other people that's into it and don't give a they wanna see if you really about it. So it's a dangerous cesspool of.
Well, did you feel like they treated you differently when older cats from different neighborhoods, they found out you had that in you? Did you get respect?
I dig the way you packaged the question, but the older guys, unless they were suckers, right? And what I mean by suckers is pushovers, punks. The older guys that were sterile or killers, or even some, like I know dude, and I'm only talking a street perspective right now. I know dudes that are thorough, that ain't never killed nobody and still don't give a about you. You got me? So none of the older guys, unless they were suckers, like I'm not gonna mention this one neighborhood, but it was a neighborhood close to my grandmother's house. It was a couple older guys that act like they was back in the play, instigating what me and my homies were going through with their younger homies. After we crushed 2 or 3 of their younger homies, the older guys that was putting them up to the wasn't even with the as we say.
Right.
So they don't count, but like the guys that I looked up to from other neighborhoods, they ain't give a about it because that's what they was doing. But when I got to jail and they was already in jail and they was 24 and 25 and I was 16 and 17, they gave me a little, oh, that's Shawty. Shawty ain't going for nothing, so I ain't gonna lie, that meant something to me.
Yeah. And
it meant something to me, not because of the danger or the fear, but because of the acknowledgement. Like, I would do the same stupid they'll do.
Well, that's what I mean, though. It's respect. It's
but only from them. But I mean, in the streets, I didn't see it. I don't want to even make it seem like I see. In the streets, I didn't become aware of it because in the 90s, everybody was doing it that was in that lifestyle, or they were pretending like they was in the gunplay. So how would I know? If you got the mean look, you got the posture, you got the gun, you might be down and shit. I don't know. But what my thing was, and I ain't got no problem saying it's a lot of light-skinned dudes from where I'm from gonna find this funny, but my thing was I was a little light-skinned and a little light-skinned dude that the girls call cute with curly hair. I had to bust your ass because I was considered a pretty boy.
That's right. And everybody in that era, there was a big stigma around being black, like real black. So everybody was jealous of the light-skinned guy. Everybody wanted to be the light-skinned guy.
Or wanted to bother you. Even if they were like I got a cousin that was very dark and we had dark-skinned, light-skinned battles in our house. But he was a what they call a handsome, nice-looking black man, dark man. You know, he wasn't an unattractive dark man. There's a nice-looking dark man and an unattractive dark man. There's a nice-looking white woman. There's a hideous white woman.
Right.
He was a nice-looking, handsome black man, according to the women.
I'm just getting Leonardo DiCaprio from Django Unchained vibes now, and I'm really...
So
it's making me uncomfortable.
But the first thing that I learned in the household with a dark-skinned relative is that light skin and dark skin clash at certain points in time. Right. And one of the other things that I learned from him, because he lived in a tougher neighborhood than me before we lived together. I've never lived in the ghetto. I need to make that clear. I'm from uptown. That's called middle class or upper middle class. I was never supposed to behave or get involved in the shit that I got involved in according to social statuses. Okay? Right. But I did, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But this cousin of mine, rest in peace to Mark, he lived on Hobart Street. That's like midtown, almost going further downtown. It's not really the ghetto, but it's more hood. Mm-hmm. And the zip code has more lower class money-making families than my zip code. Right. That zip code might be 2010. My joint was 2012.
I see.
And I just say that to say that he introduced me to the light-skinned, dark-skinned thing. So by the time my mother died, you couldn't say shit to me. Your mother this, your mother that, you can get your jaw broke. Mm-hmm. So I kind of was one of them
overcompensating.
Damn. I was about to say one of those overcompensating light-skinned guys. Right. I'm not in the category of a wannabe, but a motherfucker who gonna go over the top. Yep. I didn't have to be a wannabe because my family or my social circle was already like the cool one. Like I wasn't the outsider guy. And plus, I probably made up for a lot of stuff when we talk on social circles back then because I was the only child and everybody had died. So my aunt spoiled me. So dudes that was already hustling that had this clothes, those shoes, this jacket, that shirt. I had that shit with my aunt just trying to make sure that I felt love.